Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special combined for the 20 R7 and R8 beta webinar. Today, we are bringing you a powerful session covering the latest and most exciting features from both releases, features we are sure you will love. But just before getting started, going forward, we are making a key change. So instead of hosting future webinars after a release, we will now hold them during the beta phase. This means you will get an exclusive first look at what's coming before the final version is out. That's why we are covering the R7 and R8 beta together in this webinar, and it's the first of many to come. So let's see what's on the agenda. We will start with for the Qodly Pro, where we have some exciting news and demos to share. Next, we will explore what's new for developers, diving into the latest enhancements for the language. Then we will move to the two UI improvements covering list boxes and multi-window applications. We will also highlight the latest updates in 40 Write Pro. And finally, we will wrap up with the new capabilities in 40 View Pro. So during the presentation, we will be running demos to showcase how these features work in practice, giving you a clear view of their functionality and potential. Before we get started, I want to encourage you to ask questions at any time during the presentation. We have a full house to answer your questions. So without further ado, let's jump into the first segment, and to you, Mathieu.
Thank you, Intissar. And as you said, let's start with 40 Qodly Pro. So for the Qodly Pro, I mean, you all know about Qodly Studio for 40, and we are proud to announce that the beta will end with for the 20 R8 beta. Qodly Studio for 40 is in fact a part of a greater set of features and technologies deeply included into 40. And we chose to name this whole set for the Qodly Pro on par with for the Write Pro and for the View Pro. For the Qodly Pro offers your 40 app a ready-to-use web studio. You know it already. But Qodly technology is not only a powerful studio. Behind it, you get Qodly pages that are generated by Qodly Studio. It's a JSON representation of a page, events, sources, behaviors. You got Qodly sources, enabling you to bring entity selections or entity data and logic to your page without writing front-end code. You get Qodly renderer, which is giving life to all of this on the end user's web browser, handling REST queries and interactions. And you also get what we call custom components that will allow you to implement whatever missing UI component you would need. So basically, 40 allows you to create desktop forms with the 40 IDE. This is what you already know for years now. But now, with 40 Qodly Pro, you can also create forms for the web. So basically, all of this running your 40 application and interacting with your data. Development is included in your partner contract, starting from Silver, and deployment and usage of the final pages is covered by your 40 client licenses. So as I said, beta is now over, or we still have a few weeks until R8 beta is over. And now is a perfect time for a very interesting demo from Vanessa.
Hello everyone, today we will show you how 40 Qodly Pro seamlessly integrate with 4D. Using a web application, we will generate PDF documents based on 40 Write Pro template. Her demo application allows users to create and generate documents for annual review. This web interface enables both the manager and the employee to enter the required information. For example, goals, skill, training, which, and comment. Once the data has been validated and considered by both parties, the manager can generate the document in PDF format by clicking the Generate PDF document. A View PDF button then appears, allowing the document to be displayed directly within the web application. Finally, a Download PDF button provides the option to download the file. Now let's take a close look how PDF Generate works. Let's check the structure. The review table is linked to several other table training goals. We have also a template table which contains multiple 4D WritePro templates. Let's explore these different templates. The first one, called Classic, another Modern, it used earlier in the application, another Tables. Creating or editing a template is simple. On the right, a drop-down list offers various elements to insert into the document. This list is based on a JSON file named WP expression, which contains both the display names and the associated formula. When an element is selected, the corresponding formula is automatically inserted into the document. Is it also possible to integrate tables to display lists such as skill or objective? Using the table wizard, let's create a table dedicated to skill. We keep the default column. The formula used are this.item.name or score.name, score.code. The wizard configuration settings are stored in the WP template folder, specifically in the skill.json file for skill table. We add the summary option and insert a formula to display the group name. Finally, we insert our table, recalculate the formula, and display the data. Her template is now ready. Within the review entity class, three main functions allow us to generate a PDF document. Create context formats the object containing the data for the 4D WritePro document. Generate document creates a WritePro document. Create context. Retrieve the corresponding table based on the employee department. Review employee department template. Using the WP new command to create a new document from the template, apply the context using WP context and compute the document formula with WP compute formula. Generate PDF. Generate the PDF version of the 4D WritePro document. It is accessible from the Qodly application using the export option. Call the generate document function, exports the document to PDF using wexport variable, and save the PDF file in the database. And that is for the 4D side, a simple and efficient approach. Now let's move on the integration in Qodly Studio. Here is her review list. The Qodly source selected review contains the selected entity. The Generate PDF button triggers a call to the selected review.generate PDF function. Next, we have the PDF Viewer widget. This is a custom component available on Qodly GitHub account, which allows a PDF to be displayed directly on the web page. This widget uses the selected.document PDF data source to display the generate document. Finally, we have the Download PDF button. This custom component allows file download. It is also available on Github. Like the PDF viewer widget, it is linked to the selected review document data source. Back in our application, the list of available buttons varies depending on the selected review. For this, we use a stage to control button visibility such as read-only, read-only PDF, and read-only with PDF. Elements are displayed based on their display property, adjusted between block, flex, or none. For example, for the PDF viewer widget, the style box is set to display none. The state management rules are defined in the conditional panel. For example, read-only check the selected and is read-only condition. Read-only PDF check the selected with PDF and is read-only condition. These conditions are saved so they can be reused in different states. Selected ensures that selected review is not null. Selected review document PDF is null. Is read-only ensures that selected review is read-only return true. The is read-only attribute is a computed attribute based on the statute and role. Thus, the read-only state is simply composed to the selected and is read-only saved condition. To ensure security when generating documents, we have implemented a privilege mechanism. A generate PDF privilege has been created to control access to sensitive data required for document generation. This privilege grants read access to the department and template data class, which are essential for retrieving the right pro template. The review generate PDF function is configured with the promote option. This allows it to run on the server with temporary access to the generate PDF privilege, ensuring secure access to restricted data. Whether you're generating expense report, invoice, or any other document based on templates, the combination of Qodly Pro and Qodly Pro provides a simple and integrated solution. We hope this demonstration has inspired you and given you many ideas for the future application. Thanks.
Thank you, Vanessa. Let's go
you.
presentation.
Let's go back here. So, and let's continue. Okay. So, yesterday we announced on our blog the end of the beta for the Qodly Pro. You just saw an interesting demonstration involving for the Qodly Pro and for the Write Pro. And it's a very interesting use case. I mean, it's a very complete use case involving permissions and interactions with your Qodly code. The good thing is that we will publish in the coming days a series of blog posts that will describe you how Vanessa achieved this app, and of course we'll share the source code of this application, so you will be really guided into building such an application. That's it. Maybe we can continue with a small time for question and answers, if you have any. We have a lot of topics today, so Apparently no question yet. Perhaps we'll have some later.
Yeah, we can move forward, and you always have the Q&A box of Zoom, so feel free to write your questions, and we will answer them along the presentation.
Correct. Let's go. And let's skip now to the developer section. And we'll start with operating system compatibility update. Microsoft released Windows Server 2025 in November 24. And so for the updated its OS certification process to ensure seamless compatibility. This means that you can confidently deploy your 40 apps on the latest Windows Server platform, taking advantage of its enhanced performance and security features. For detailed information on which 40 versions are certified for specific Apple or Microsoft operating systems, please refer to the table we published on our blog post. It's the link below here. Just remember that for the 20R8 and for the 20.6 LTS are both certified for macOS 15 Sequoia and Windows Server 2025, as well as Windows 11 24H2. So that's it for this part. And now let's start with developers' features. I'm really excited to introduce a powerful enhancement for the 20R8. I mean, associating now a class with a form offers you a more robust and error-free development experience. By associating a class with a form, the object returned by the form command is now typed, and this changes everything. The code editor offers autocompletion for the form command. By typing form dot something, you'll receive suggestion for all properties and functions declared in the form associated class. And this reduces coding errors or typos. You also get real-time syntax checking on both code editor while coding, but also in the property lists. This immediate feedback helps you identify errors or warnings early in the development process. But let's see all this in a demo, once again, from Vanessa.
Discover a new enhancement that will make your development even smoother and more secure, the form class property. With this new feature, you can now type the object returned by the form command, providing immediate benefits in terms of validation and autocompletion. Let's take a concrete example. I display an entity selection in a Listbox and open the selected entity in an input dialog. I can then modify and save it. On the code side, the selected entity is stored in the form.currentItem variable. Then, we pass the selected entity to the dialog command. So far, nothing new. Now, let's see what changed with the form class property. In my form, I define this property using the person entity class. If we look at the structure of this entity, we find two attributes, first name and last name. In my field, for first name, form.firstname. For last name, form.lastname. Now imagine I make a mistake when typing an attribute name. Instantly, an error is detected, preventing any unexpected issue. This verification also applies to the forms method with smart autocompletion. When I type form, the attributes first name and last name are suggested along with all applicable functions for an entity. If I assign a numeric value to a text type attribute, the editor immediately displays an error. And now, if I make another mistake in an attribute name, I get a clear error message in the editor. And not that's all. This also works with user classes, making code writing simpler, faster, and reducing error. Form is now smarter than ever. Thanks.
Thank you, Vanessa. I go back. the presentation. Don't forget you have the Q&A section. We are going fast today because we only have an hour and a lot of features. So let's proceed. Let's proceed with another highly requested feature, the TCPConnection class, which is introduced in 4D20R8. This modern object-oriented class is to replace traditional 4D internet commands, offering asynchronous network handling for more efficient and scalable connections. With TCPConnection, you can establish direct communication with external servers, printers, cache registers, or industrial devices. It supports sending and receiving binary data through events, ensuring responsive interactions. The good news is that this is the client part, but the server part is in progress and will be delivered soon. Let's proceed now with a demo, but this time not from Vanessa, from Nicolas.
4D20R8 introduces a brand new class, the TCPConnection class, which allows you to perform HTTP connections to distant servers with an object-oriented syntax and asynchronous callbacks. I won't dive into the code because it will take far too much time to just be a demonstration, but I will show you what you can do with this class with the HDI. The HDI is a home automation HDI, so you can see a beautiful house here and 5 different devices. You can connect to all these devices to control them remotely. These devices are servers in the HDI, so first you need to start the servers. And from that moment on, you can connect to them. So for example, I will connect to the light. And here I can get information. So the light is off. I can activate, deactivate it, and now the light is on, and then I can disconnect. So all of that is using TCP communication between the server, the light itself, and my 4D form. So for example, if I connect again to the light, I can see that the light is still on, because it's on the server and the server keeps the information. I can also connect to the other devices, like for example, here I have the temperature. I can get information about the temperature, so it's 9 degrees Celsius because we are French. And I can, for example, activate heating system. So now the temperature is slowly raising and all of that. So obviously you will tell me that it doesn't show much because you haven't seen the communication, the network communication itself, but I can show you the logs, which will speak better than I could. So I realize my log file is too big. So you can see that I connected myself to the light. I get information about the light, disconnected, connected again, and then I connected to the temperature and get information about it, and so on. That's it. So I hope this new feature will help you a lot, and I wait for all your questions about it, especially on the 4D forums.
Thank you, Nicolas. So it was a great teaser about this new functionality. Obviously, we recommend you to check out the blog post, but also the how do I, just to open it and see how it is coded. As I said, the server part is currently in progress on our side, and you will get it in a next version of 4D. So that's it. Let's still continue with communications. We have two big new features. The first one is the outgoing message class for enhancing web communications. So with 4D 20R7, we are making web applications development even more powerful. This class enables seamless file downloads and binary data handling with REST responses. This allows developers to send PDFs, images, or any content type effortlessly. Plus, the new on-HTTP GET keyword simplifies API interactions by enabling GET requests. This means a smoother, more intuitive experience for users and fewer workarounds for developers. But this class comes, let's say, hand-to-hand together with another new feature, so HTTP handlers, which is another powerful tool for enhancing web communication. HTTP handlers offer developers precise control over incoming web requests, aligning seamlessly with modern web application architectures. The first key benefit is that you can now implement a granular request management. You can now define specific business logic for distinct URL patterns, allowing for a more modular and organized code base. This eliminates the need for extensive case-of statements in the on-web connection database method, streamlining your code and enhancing maintainability. Additionally, HTTP request handlers facilitate seamless redirection to or from Qodly pages. Such integration enables a more dynamic and responsive user experience. By leveraging HTTP request handlers, you gain fine-tuned control over your web application's behavior, leading to more efficient request processing and a robust, secure user experience. We'll see both of these features here in another demo, but this time with Marie-Sophie. We have a lot of speakers today, so let's go.
Sorry, in today's digital world, a smooth and intuitive user experience is key to the success of any web application. A critical part of this experience is providing users with easy access to various resources, whether documents, images, or other types of data. That's why now the new outgoing message class provides a significant benefit. So we have here a product data class. This class contains a convert to picture function that generates an image from a given text. So this function takes the following parameters: the text to be displayed in the image, the font name, and the required image size. This function returns an instance of the new outgoing message class. And this class has two attributes: the body and the header. The body contains the generated image, and the header is an object whose content type attribute specifies the body type. So here we put image JPEG. Until now, function calls through the REST server had to be made using the post verb. This was required for security reasons, preventing sensitive code execution through something as simple as clicking on a link. However, since this post does not always align with the user experience you want to provide, these functions can also be called using the get verb. So for this, just use the new on-HTTP GET keyword for the function. Parameters can be passed to the function using the $params parameter, which must be formatted as a JSON collection like this. So here we put the text and the font. I copy this URL in a browser, and this works, and we can see that thanks to this new outgoing message class, the REST server can now deliver fully formatted web content directly ready for browsers to handle. Let's try with a second URL, so with a different text and a different font. I copy the URL in a browser and we get a different image. So instances of this new outgoing message class are recognized as web content and can be processed directly by any browser. So this is the end of the demo for the outgoing message class. And now we can talk about the next subject, which is HTTP handlers. With the introduction of HTTP handlers in the 4D HTTP server, you can define which business logic to trigger based on specific URL patterns. The HTTP handlers must be configured in this file, in the HTTP handlers JSON file, which is in the project sources folder. So let's take a look at this file. It contains a JSON formatted collection of objects, and each object represents a request handler with the following information: the URL pattern to handle, the HTTP verb used, and the couple singleton class plus function where the request handler logic is implemented. So in this example, if the HTTP server receives a request that starts with /document list and uses the get verb, then the handler function of the file handling singleton is executed. Let's examine this function. This handler receives an instance of the new incoming message class. And several pieces of information about the request are accessible through this class, particularly the URL path collection, which provides all parts of a URL. So in this example, if the URL contains only one part, and that part is document lists, the function loops through all files in the documents folder. An HTML text is generated listing href links pointing to URLs in the format /download plus the file name. And again, an instance of the outgoing message class is returned at the end of the function. The HTML text is placed in the body, and the content type header specifies that the response is an HTML content. When we test this, so I copy the URL in a browser, we get a list of href links referencing a /download URL. We can see the URL at the bottom left of the page. And now let's have a look at the second handler we have in the file. So this is the same handler, same function and same singleton that processes URLs beginning with /download. So let's analyze the code. If the URL contains only one part and that part is download, then the function uses the URL query property provided in the request. This property contains the parameters passed in the URL, including name. This is the name of the requested file. So the requested file is retrieved here in the documents folder, and the appropriate header is set according to the file type. And finally, the file content is placed in the body of a response with the correct content type header. So let's run a test. So let's try to get a PNG image by clicking on this link, so we can get the image. Let's try getting a JPEG image. it's okay. And let's have a last try with a PDF document so we can get the PDF document. You can explore the HDI provided in the blog post to discover all the properties of the new incoming message class and all you can do with HTTP handlers. And additionally, be aware that HTTP handlers can also be used to manage redirections. So this is the end of this demo for me. So thank you for listening and watching.
Let's continue our marathon today. And let's talk about the component manager, the dependency manager. With a 4D20R8, integrating third-party components from GitHub is now easier than ever. You can directly manage and update components within the dependencies manager with automatic version checks, ensuring you're always up to date. But also the new manual and bulk update options give you full control over your dependencies, while customizable rules allow you to prioritize stability or specific versions for your project's need. And once again, it's a day full of demo today. We will switch to a demo from David.
Hello everyone. So let's talk about the project dependency manager now. In this demo, I will show you how to add an external component with a specific version, and finally, how to update it to the latest version in just a few clicks. So let's go ahead and open our project dependency window here. Here, you can see all the default components that 4D has already installed for you. But what we want to do now is install a component that is available on GitHub. For this demo, I've chosen a public component called 4D macros. And as you can see here, several releases are available for this component. What we're going to do now is deliberately install a specific version of the component first. So we're going to get this 1.0.2 version first, and then later we'll update it to the latest version. So let's go back to our project dependency window. To add components, you just have to click on the plus button at the bottom of the window here. And as soon as you enter a valid URL, you have this dependency rule that is available to enter an exact version and get a specific version of our component. So here I'm going to enter the version of the component I want to get, so 1.0.2, and I'm going to add it. At this point, the component would be available yet because we need to restart the application. So let's request an update from the more menu here, update all remote dependencies on next startup. And I'm going to restart. Okay, so after restarting, you can see that the component is now installed with the correct version. And to confirm, you can check the method here, the component methods, and 4D macros is available and loaded, ready to use here. So now, let's suppose that you want to use the latest version instead. To do that, you just have to right-click on the component, select Edit the dependency, and instead of choosing the exact version, we're going to choose the latest version here. And I'm going to click Apply here. And before restarting, I just want to show you something just to check if updates are available. Okay, so as you can see, the component manager scans for new version based on our dependency rule. And here it suggests the latest version available for this component. So what we're going to do now is, as before, from the more menu here, update all remote dependency on next startup. Okay. And there you have it. the component is now up to date, available, and ready to use. And you can check that here also. As you can see, all the functions are available and usable for you. Okay, so thank you everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the demo.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Let's continue. All right. All right, it's not the end, far from it. Let's talk about simulated sessions for development and testing. In 4D20R8, we took things further by addressing a key challenge shared by our developers. During development, applications are typically built in single-user mode, where sessions don't exist. This created a barrier for testing sessions-related features, as developers had to deploy their applications to a server just to verify their work. To overcome this, starting with 20R8, we've introduced simulated sessions for development in single-user mode. These simulated sessions enable developers to test session-dependent features easily and effectively without requiring a server setup. So let's check out the blog. We don't have a demo for this one. It would be a little bit too much. And let's continue with the next feature, which is direct typing. Don't forget the Q&A sections if you have any question. So these powerful features introduced in 4D20R7 changes how we declare type and type variables, making it easier, faster, and more efficient. The main key point is that direct typing eliminates the need of compiler methods. You can now declare process and interprocess variables directly in the code. What has changed? You no longer need to use compiler methods, of course. The -declare syntax is now mandatory for declaring method parameters, and the compiler commands like ctext or clongint and others must be replaced by the var keyword. The benefits is that process or interprocess variables can be defined wherever they logically belong in your code. The compiler will automatically fetch the method prototypes directly from the component's code. So there's no need to compile components when compiling the host project now. Side note, of course, for your existing projects, direct typing can be toggled on or off in compilation options. This to allow you to smoothly transition to this new feature. And to assist you in converting compiler commands to the var declaration syntax, we've made a 4D macro available on GitHub. So you can access it from a link shown in the slide, but also from the blog post. So as usual, I don't say it enough. Check out the blog. It's full of insightful information. All right. Let's go with the debugger now. From 4D20R8, the debugger has been upgraded to make your debugging experience more efficient and user-friendly. This update focuses on saving user-defined settings, simplifying the management and reuse of expressions, but also we redesigned the overall UI. Key benefits for you are that with auto-saved expressions, no more re-entering expressions. They are saved and ready whenever you revisit the code. You can keep important expressions always visible, no matter where you are in the code, by just pinning them. You can choose between local variables, line-specific variables, and your own custom expressions for precise debugging. But last but not least, as you can see, the UI offers a new design that's sleek, intuitive, and built for productivity. So we wish you a happy debugging sessions with the new 4D debugger. And for this one, we can share this demo from Fabrice.
Hello everyone! In this demo, I'll show you the latest improvement to the 4D debugger. Let's start by running this code. Right away, you'll notice some changes. The most obvious one is the redesign icons. But don't worry, all functionalities are still there, except for the save button, but we'll get back to that later. For now, let's focus on this new button. It gives access to the expression management menu you're already familiar with, but with a new option, display. This menu allows you to choose between 3 display modes: local variables, line expressions, and expressions. Right now, the expressions mode is selected, which corresponds to the standard view you're used to in the debugger. Now, let's switch to line expressions and see what happens in the expression area. As you can see, the expression variable and the current execution line are automatically displayed. For example, here we see vname, which is currently undefined. When this line executes, we now see that vname is set to an empty string. Next, when executing this assignment line, watch closely. The expression area updates to show what's available on the next line, specifically the $start and $end variables. This makes it very easy to follow execution step by step in the code. If you prefer to see all local variables, simply switch the display to local variables. With this view, you can access all declared local variables at any point during executions. For example, if I execute the declaration of $end and $start, they automatically appear in the interface. The same happens for $num1 when I execute this line. But what if you want to focus on a specific expression? Let's say I want to keep track of vname no matter where I am in the code. I add vname as a custom expression. And now, even as I navigate through the code, vname remains visible at all times. So now, if I enter another method, you can see that all expressions disappear. But what if I want to keep vname visible throughout the execution process? This is where the new pinning feature comes in. Click on Pin It, and now, no matter how deep we go into different methods, vname will always be visible and accessible. For example, if I go back in call method, vname is always here. These new pinning features replace the old Save All option. To summarize, the 4D debugger in version 20R8 introduces a redesigned interface with improved organization, more control over displayed expressions, and the new pinning feature to keep critical expressions always visible. We hope these improvements make your debugging sessions even smoother. Thank you all.
Thank you. Let's continue with 4D Netkit. So a significant enhancement to our email management capabilities in the Gmail API through 4D 20R7. This was based on your request. The upgraded google.mail.getLabel function allows you to retrieve unread email accounts, along with label properties efficiently. By using the with counter attributes, you can get message and thread counters alongside the standard label information for multiple labels in one call. Similarly, we enhanced the IMAP transporter getBox function, so you can retrieve and read email counts and mailbox properties for multiple mailboxes in a single call. Also, in 4D20R8, we've added another powerful 4D Netkit feature, which is the access to Google user information. With Auth2 integration, you can now quickly pull details about the currently authenticated user using the google.user.getCurrent function, including their name, email, and more. You can also retrieve domain profiles and contacts with the google.user.list function, or get specific user details with the google.user.get function. Okay, that's it. And let's proceed with this other demo from Fabrice and for the Netkit.
Hello everyone. In this demo, we retrieve the information of a user logged into his Google account and display it in an error dialog using 4D Netkit. Let's start by running this example method. Here, we fill a credential object that contains all the necessary data to start the Google authentication. To do this, I previously created an application in Google Cloud where I found my client ID and my client secret. Now, let's continue and get the user's information using the user.getCurrent function. Since we are not yet authenticated, the login interface will be started automatically. I identify myself. Once authenticated, we can see that the function has returned an object containing the user information, such as its email address here. So I use this information to display a welcome message for a user who just logged in. And that's it. We just saw how, with only a few lines of code, we can retrieve a Google user's information using 4D Netkit and use it in an application. Thanks everyone, and see you soon.
Okay, thank you, Fabrice, for this short demo. This is over for development features. We will proceed quickly to the user interface features. And I give you the mic, Intissar.
Thank you, Mathieu. So now let's talk about the Listbox. So in earlier versions of 4D, blank if null property helped improve clarity by hiding null values for time fields in input or display zones. However, this feature was not available for Listbox columns and footers until now. So with 4D20R7, you can apply this property to make your Listbox data cleaner and more readable. Next, we have multi-window applications. So navigating multi-window applications can sometimes be challenging, especially when dealing with multiple forms or documents. In 4D20R7, the new set window document icon command makes your applications more user-friendly by allowing you to assign custom icons to your windows, as you can see from the screen in front of you. This will help users easily identify and switch between windows, saving time and reducing confusion.
All right, let's proceed with for the right go Intissar.
Yeah, thank you, Mathieu. So the next feature, so managing sections and subsections in a document can sometimes be complex, especially when it comes to deleting them or resetting their attributes. And several new features in 4D20R7 come to simplify these tasks, saving time and effort while reducing potential formatting issues. For instance, the new WP delete section command allows complete deletion of a section's content and properties without causing index shifts or unintended merges, ensuring at least one section remains in the document. Additionally, a standard action for deletion prompts user confirmation and permits one section deletion at a time. The WP delete subsection command removes all associated attributes, including headers and anchored images or text boxes. We also updated the WP reset attributes command to enable the simultaneous deletion of all attributes for sections or subsections, reverting them to inherited properties. I know it's a lot of talk, but let's see all this in action. And we have a demo from Roland to cover this new feature.
This first part demonstrates how to delete one or more sections from your document. A new dedicated command has been created for that, and it's named WP delete section. The only thing you have to do is to indicate this command the number of the section to be deleted. The only thing to remember is that the document contains at least one section, and the section's numbers are dynamic. You can delete any section in any order, provided, of course, that its number is valid and it still exists, and it's not the only section of the document. An important detail, images or text boxes may be anchored to sections that follow a deleted section. In this case, the anchored number are automatically decremented and remain anchored to the correct sections, so you don't have to worry about it. If I delete section 1, it is deleted, of course, and 2 sections remain. If section 1 is deleted again, it's the section that was previously section 2 that is deleted. Finally, if I try to delete section 1 once again, then it won't work because it's the last existing section of the document, which is not possible because the document contains at least one section. So let me reload this document and unzoom it so we can see more of it. So we're going to remove a section starting by the end this time. So I remove section 3 and it works fine. If I try again, of course it doesn't work because section 3 doesn't exist anymore, but I can remove section 1 or section 2, but I can do it twice because again it's the last section of the document. So if I try to remove any section, I'll get an error. This demonstrations concerns the resetting of section attributes. What you have to know or to remember is that the attributes of sections are highly dependent on the document attributes they inherit. When attributes are reset in sections, they are actually removed from the section, not only reset. And so they inherit again from the document attributes. For greater ease of use, it's no longer necessary to delete attributes one by one. This is what's really new in this command. The WP reset attributes command now can receive only one argument, the section itself, without specifying any attributes. In short, no attributes equal all attributes. This works for subsections too, and we shall see this a little bit later. So if I click on reset section 1, section 1 will lose its blue background, so it will be white again. If I click on reset section 2, section 2 will revert to single column and into portrait mode, and same goes for reset section 3. It will lose its red frame and its white margins. So I still have 3 sections, but they are all identical and they all inherit from the main document.
Perfect, thank you, Roland. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so with 4020R7, the visible borders feature in 4D Write Pro makes working with tables easier, even when lines are hidden or cells are merged. The visible table borders property allows you to display both internal and external borders as dotted lines, as you can see from the video on the screen. This feature is accessible through the interface, directly in the toolbar or the sidebar for quick access. You can toggle this option with a single click or use it in the code with WP set view properties command. And with 4020R8, many enhancements are brought to the commands in 4D Write Pro, making development more modern, efficient, and easier to maintain. These updates are the following. The first one, we have WP set attributes that now supports objects and collections as shown in the code example. We have WP table append row that now handles formulas and collections and returns the appended row element. This greatly simplifying table management tasks. And we have WP insert picture that is now a function returning the inserted picture element, plus it now accepts file objects. Additionally, commands like WP import document, WP export document, WP insert picture, and WP add picture have been modernized to accept 4D.file arguments, allowing more modern code. So for a complete list of these updates and their practical applications, be sure to check the blog post displayed on the screen. So these enhancements are designed to make your work with 4D Write Pro smoother and more powerful than ever. We move to the last feature of 4D Write Pro, and we have published an interesting blog post detailing how you can easily sign and verify documents within 4D to ensure that they have not been tampered with. So by signing documents with a private key and verifying them with a public key, you can ensure that the document has not been altered. If the signature matches, it means the document is intact. If it doesn't, the document might have been modified. The signing process is straightforward. Append the signature at the end of the document and check it before opening. You can also apply same principles for any other file type, as you can easily remove the signature if needed. So check out the blog post for a deeper dive and let us know what you think in the forum as usual.
We'll finish with 4D Write Pro.
Yeah, okay. So 4020R7 introduces a significant enhancement to 4D View Pro powered by SprintJS version 17.1. And key improvements include the ability to move or insert columns and rows by dragging headers, new chart types like waterfall charts, and smoother lines for line charts. You can now insert charts from multi-selections. Other enhancements include more page special options, customizable sheet tape styles, pixel scrolling support for row column event, distribute horizontal text alignment, and the preservation of Excel source states during imports. So we put the link of the blog post in the screen and check it out for all the details.
Okay.
And the last feature of 4D View Pro, it's related to 4020R8, where we improved Excel workflows with the new export and import options for both commands VP export document and VP import document. You can now have more control over your exported files, such as including styles, formulas, frozen headers, and password protection. On the import side, we have added options to handle styles, formulas, dynamic references, and recalculation settings, offering greater flexibility.
All right, we're coming to an end. So continue with this in Intissar, and later on we will...
Good question. So as Mathieu said, as we approach the end of today's presentation, I want to highlight a few more powerful features that we didn't have the chance to cover in detail, but are definitely worth checking out. Starting with 4020R8, where we introduce key update, including the 4D Debugger extension for Visual Studio Code, which allows you to debug 4D code directly in VS Code. We have also simplified the macOS notarization process with a new component structure for smoother deployment. Security also has been fortified with certificate authority validation for client-server communication, and session singletons in 4020R7 make managing user-specific data easier. So all this detail can be found on the 4D blog. To you, Mathieu.
Okay. As usual, check our 4D blog. Send us your feedback. It was full of demo today. As we said, we were covering 2 feature releases because from now on, all webinars will be done during a feature release beta. So this is why we skipped R7 and wanted to do this change from now on. So from now on, every new for the feature, for the version, for the feature release or version, will have such webinar presenting you new features before the end of the beta phase. So you can take your hands on the new features more quickly than before, quicker than before, sorry. And that's it. We can now leave, I guess. So thank you everyone for this first webinar of the year. Thank you for all the speakers, and let's see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.